Welcome back to Breakfast Central. Of course, the conversation is never complete without talking sports. And this morning, we have Udoka Njoku. Good morning, Udoka. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Osage. Good morning, Olive. Good to have you guys and glad to be here today.
Always a delight to have you. Now, let's have you take us through what's happening in the world of sports.
All right, straight to the world of sports. Argentine striker Diego Dorogari has terminated his contract with Egyptian Premier League outfit Ismail. Dorogari joined Ismail from Ecuadorian top flight side Deportivo Cuenca during the last winter transfer window. Now, since his arrival in Egypt, he had only made 6 appearances, failing to score and impress with his new team. That was not the reason for his departure, though. As according to Dorogari, the real reason to leave was the club's repeated faults and abuse. He put out a post on his contract termination on social media. Straight to Kenya, Harambee Stars defender Joash Onyango has finally renewed his contract with Tanzanian giant Simba SC. Simba SC spokesman Ahmed Ali said the two parties had reached an agreement and Onyango will be at Simba for the next 2 seasons. He said some of the defender's demands were not met, but his contract was improved to his satisfaction. In May last year, South African giants Orlando Pirates showed interest in signing the player, and the then Simba spokesman Haji Manara, now Yanga SC, placed a 100 million shilling tag on the player. Onyango joined in August 2020 from Record Football Kenya Federation Premier League champions Gor Mahia on a 2-year contract. Straight to the Commonwealth now. There will be no field event during the World Athletics Championships and Commonwealth Games trials scheduled for Friday and Saturday at the Moi International Sports Centre, Kasarani, Kenya. Now, this is because none of the athletes in the field event has met the qualifying times for the World Championships, but there will be selected sprint events on the cards during the 2-day trials, men and women's 100-meter, 200-meter and 400-meter, and the men's 400-meter hurdles. Athletics Kenya Director for Competitions, Paul Mutwi, disclosed that the selection criteria for the 2 events will be unveiled at a press conference later today. Now, World Athletics Championships will take place from the 15th of July to the 24th in Oregon, United States of America, followed by the Commonwealth Games from the 28th of July to the 8th of August in the UK. And straight to tennis, American great player Serena Williams says it would be dishonest to see that she did not have doubts of whether she would play top-level tennis again. In a comeback after a year out, Williams earned a win alongside Tunisian Jabeur in the Eastbourne doubles. Now, the 40-year-old had not played since retiring injured from her first-round match at Wimbledon last year. Williams and Tunisia's Jabeur won against Soribes Tomo and Marie Boskova. Now, Williams is set to play in the singles event at Wimbledon next week after receiving a wild card for the Grand Slam event. And straight to transfer news now. Arsenal have completed the signing of midfielder Fabio Vieira from Porto in a £34.2 million deal. Now, Porto released a statement saying the Gunners would pay an initial £29.9 million for the 22-year-old, with the rest in potential add-ons. Now, Arsenal have now announced Vieira has signed a long-term contract with them. Now, Vieira, who is yet to win a senior cap for Portugal, was voted Player of the Season at last year's European Under-21 Championships. And to some other transfer stories, now we heard that Romelu Lukaku has agreed a loan deal to join Inter Milan from Chelsea. And Arsenal are still in search for another player, the likes of Rafinha and Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City. For Rafinha, Leeds are still holding back on the transfer because the deal, Arsenal proposed a £50 million deal, but of course, Leeds United turned it down. And for Manchester United, we also hear that Lingard just might be heading back to West Ham United, where he was on loan for about 6 months, and he scored a couple of goals for David Moyes' side. So we look forward to what the latest will be, and we'll bring you all the updates right here on the show. And that's much you can take on sports today. Back to you, Asage and Olive.
All right, pretty interesting. You know, Arsenal getting a new Vieira, and of course, Inter Milan, if it was getting their man back. You know, sadly he didn't do very well. You know, returning back to Chelsea. Sure. But thanks very much for those sports updates, Udoka and Joko.
Thank you very much.